thank you for your patience in our reset. I was going to start right away without talking, but I just saw a percussionist run out of the room. You know, that's not a good sign. Something. Are we all good, Carlo? Marin's coming? Okay. All right, well, don't tell a joke. No. So fine, band, great job. Thank you. It was a pleasure to listen to you. We hope you enjoy. This is our wind ensemble, so this both of our audition groups. And this group has been on kind of a performance tour since late February. We performed at Chabot College for a festival in front of some really national judges. Got some great feedback, great compliments, and good constructive criticism as well. And then last week we had our festival here, which Mrs. Anderson was mentioning. A lot of great information, something we could apply. And then just yesterday we went to Logan High School to perform in their beautiful theater, getting an opportunity to perform. In some cases, in the case of Dr. Harris from San Jose State, he's heard us every time. So we've been able to hear our progress, and we've changed some music in the process. So this is our second to last stop. Next week, all of our groups travel to Santa Teresa High School for CMEA. So looking forward to finishing our performance tour. Our first piece is by Jack Stamp. Jack Stamp is a really interesting composer. He's a percussionist, and he loves percussion. Almost every piece he has is a really involved percussion, and he likes to dig into dissonance as well. So we hope you enjoy this piece. It should wake you up if you're getting a little drowsy. So here you go, Jack Stamp's Gavorkna Fanfare. Our next piece, Rest, is by a composer that we're becoming very, very familiar with now. Frank Tichelli is the composer that we're going to be traveling to England with later on this summer, and we had the great fortune to have him here at Los Gatos High School to work with the band and choir that's traveling to England in a rehearsal setting on his own music. So we rehearsed Joy Visited, which we played in the last concert, Rest, and we also worked on Vesuvius, which this ensemble played for the Chabot Festival. It was a great honor. It was also something that really kicked us into gear because getting it from the composer's perspective is really something that makes you nervous, but it's also really amazing because you know it's going to be the right way to do it. And it's funny because he'll say things like, I don't know what the composer was thinking here, just X that out. You know, and then he'll say, you know what, let's add a part over here. And so we had a lot of interesting things to add, take away, and he did the same thing for Rest. And one of the things that he really gave to Rest was putting some meaning into this music. This is a really challenging piece of music, and because it's so delicate. Slow music, especially slow, delicate, soft music, and a piece that has this kind of length is very difficult to play. It's harder than what we just played, which was really hard. Not to mention, you have to do it not just technically proficient, but you have to have some soul and some heart in that performance to make it effective. This piece of music he wrote for a friend of his who lost his 18-month-year-old, his family, they lost their 18-month-year-old child in an accident. And so that was the thought in his mind for this particular piece. And he was originally a choral work, and it has lyrics to it, and so Mr. Tichelli was able to give us the lyrics that match up with the notes on the page. And so the premise behind it is, of course, you're going to hear the agony in this part, but there's also life goes on, even in a tragedy that large. And so we hope you enjoy Frank Tichelli's Rest. Thank you so much. We have one more part to the program, but before we do that, I'd like to take a moment to thank you, the parents, for all of your support. Not just what you do on a daily basis, but particularly when you get out in the trenches for anything that we do. This is mostly for our high school parents who have all these time commitments now, but also for our middle school parents. When you get into the trenches and volunteer and be a part of a trip or anything that we do, just want to thank you for all that extra effort. Okay, thank you so much, Barbara. And thank you all, everyone, for coming tonight. Our last piece is Chester, and what we're going to do briefly is, Chester is really based on an American folk song. Oftentimes when we talk about folk songs, we think of other nationalities or something from our heritage from somewhere else. And Chester is something also that I think the symphonic band students probably know from your Foundations for Superior Performance book. Is that right? Okay, just as a reminder, here's what it sounds like. And then we're going to show you, so we're going to show you what's in the blue book. We call it the blue book here. What's in the blue book, the Chester version there, and then we'll play the real band version. It's what it's referencing in the blue book is preparing this piece. This piece is a very challenging piece. They're all challenging. But I've been taking this piece to festival, of course, and every time a judge gives feedback on it, they say, thank you so much for playing this work. This is a masterwork. It's a cornerstone of our repertoire, and it doesn't get played that much, and you're very brave for playing it. And because you'll hear why in a moment. It's pretty tricky. But anyways, here's the Chester that symphonic band you may know. performance. Hope you enjoyed performing here. We're looking forward to having all of you here next year. Well, at least those who are 8th graders. So thank you everyone for coming tonight. Thanks for such a great audience, being such a great audience, and all of your support. And have a nice evening. Great spring break.